dog idiot.
Look at that beard, though. You can grow that beard out pretty fast, too.
Okay. He raised
How long does it take you to grow that beard out?
I don't know. I mean, I just trim it down. I never get rid of the whole thing.
You never get rid of the whole thing?
That's not true. When Meg leaves town for an extended period of time, you shave the whole thing.
Well, I mean, down to stubble. I'm not like
because you're like,
I'm never using like a razor.
You never use a razor?
No, I just like trim it down with the electric.
Well, if you did want to use a razor, you could always use Harry's. Thanks to Harry's for sponsoring this episode of the Rooster podcast. If Gavin ever wants to shave his beard and use an actual razor, he could use Harry's to do that. Harry's 5-blade razors include.
Funny.
Come here.
Now.
Ashley's
That's
here.
awful.
I'm gonna complain to Ashley because she never drives when.
Oh, it's the
we're
best.
In the car.
Oh, I'm being complained at?
You're being complained at a little bit.
All right, well, fine.
Nobody can hear you.
Just fire back.
Microphone.
Just get hot fire back.
Watch out. He spilled, so it might be wet.
I spilled it.
Also, he felt like phantom wetness earlier. So
And then he spilled
Phantom
right where
wetness?
he felt it.
Yeah, I thought I was wet,
No,
but I wasn't,
nobody
and then
knew
I
it was.
was.
He got up and he pointed he's got like a wet spot right near his testicles now.
who doesn't?
Man.
Am I right? So one of the things that drives me crazy is, and I like about Uber, is that I can sit in the car and I can do other stuff. Ashley, it's like in our relationship, I feel like I'm the default driver. Like today, she went out to the car first.
That's sexism.
and I came out and she was sitting in the passenger seat.
It's your car.
a
I
good
feel
point.
like you drive your car.
Sure, you drive that car all the time. All the time.
Right, but only if you're not driving it because
Right. That's the point.
if you're not driving it and I have to take it somewhere, then I have to drive it.
And
But
she's
it's
just-
your car.
She's over there, guys. She's over there like this. Tap, tap, tap. You can hear the clicks on the phone like tut, 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 tut. She's just having a really great
You
time.
jealous?
I am.
Yeah,
I want to institute a no phones in the car
So
rule.
it's not that you don't want to drive. You just don't want the other person to be in their world.
Yes.
You want them to be in your world.
You want him to be miserable like you.
I can't text and all
And
that
yet,
stuff.
the times that I offer to drive because he has to do a bunch of stuff, he doesn't say a word to me.
That's true. Because I
Oh.
got a bunch of stuff I'm doing back over there.
But your
So
stuff's
do I.
more
So do
important
I.
than
It's
Ashley's
internet.
stuff.
Yeah,
Internet's very important.
it is, and it's.
I have to check all the parody accounts.
What's your commute time, Michael?
It's about like 15 minutes.
Yeah, we're about 15, 20 minutes, depending, and so it's like you get a lot of stuff done. You can knock out like
It's
10 emails.
This will piss you off because you doing the driving. There are
Let me
so many
get ready.
times.
Let me get ready.
Today,
right.
on the way to work, I was like, all right, we're talking to Lindsay, get in the car. She's driving. I'm like, all right, this is what we got to do today. Da-da-da-da, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, we're here. It was like, I swear to God, I looked up when we were in the parking lot. I was
It's
like,
great,
wow.
right? It's great.
It's like teleporting.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
You get sucked in.
It's like, imagine if you're in a plane, Gavin, and you never have any in-flight entertainment of any kind. You just
Well, imagine if you were in the plane and the pilot
and
came
the-
out and said, talk to me, put that down.
In this scenario, though, you're the pilot.
I would totally go up and talk to the pilot.
Do you think the pilot says that to the co-pilot? Like, hey,
Get off your phone.
You would talk
Just
to the
hold it-
pilot
hold it
because
in
it's
case.
a pilot and it's cool. Nobody thinks the driver of a car is cool.
You do. You told me that one time. It's like, it's really manly to drive a car. Like you were excited about like the prospect of driving a car one day because girls would be really into you. 'Cause
Well, that's the high school thing, right? The girls like the older boys with the cars.
Oh, you
Well, I
got your-
think that's-
yeah,
got
but you
your-
were 28 when
Yeah.
you
No, because I never had that. I never experienced
I think
it.
the point of the older boys with cars is that they're old enough to drive.
Yeah.
There's a big difference when you're 15 and can't drive a car yet. Once you turn like 16, 17, who gives a shit?
Well, not everyone can afford a car the moment they're 17.
Well, I
At
know,
that
but
point,
still.
though, aren't they just happy that it's probably like the college boys? It hasn't. I don't know that it has to do with a car. Although, yes, it is pretty cool if you can go parking, if you know what I mean.
Take it easy over there.
Hey,
What are
what's
you?
up?
What are you doing?
So is this
But
what you...
I've never gone up to an adult man and been like, "You got a car, huh?"
Well, because everyone can do it. Well, except me.
She only does that if you let her ride the passenger seat.
Well, that kind of
She
just
has
like
stuff to do.
undid your whole argument.
Your car
like, it's-
drives itself anyway. Just text.
But they won't let me. I would love to be able to do that, but they've actually kind of nerfed the auto steer on the Tesla
They nerfed it?
a little bit. Now there's a thing where it'll alert and say, "Hey, hold the wheel. Hey, hold the wheel," and then instantly says, "You don't get auto steer anymore for the rest of this thing because you didn't hold the wheel fast enough."
Really?
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Wait,
and it locks
so-
you out.
You ignore it that much?
No,
Can't you just turn
it's
the
not
car
that
off?
long.
Can you just turn it off and on again?
No, you got to park the car.
What's park, though? Turning the car off?
Yeah, there's like park is the same as turning it off.
Do you really not know what park on a car is?
Well, I mean, what does the car
I think-
think park is?
Probably when you
the
put
car
it in park.
Right, so what's stopping you from doing that and then undoing it?
What is a
Because you have to come to a full stop.
Okay, in traffic. Boo, boop, I parked. Does that work?
Yeah, but typically you're on the freeway when you get chastised. because I would never like be in the city
So here's what you do.
without my hands on
You
the
get
Here's the
hot
advice from
dogs.
the guy that doesn't
you
drive.
get hot
Listen.
dogs.
dogs.
Yeah, thanks,
because
Michael.
Hot dogs have capacitive. What is it? Is it like the grip? What?
I'm not
sense
really
is
sure.
Is
It must be a
capacitive?
little bit of schnudge when you're like when you grab the wheel and you give it a little.
All right.
That's what
Please
it noticed.
schnudge the
here's
wheel.
The thing is, what if you're
Yeah, we'll
wearing like driving gloves or something? It would still have to sense
What do you mean
that.
if? It's all the time.
Where-
Does
I think
Tesla
it's a
make
little bit
driving
of
gloves?
motion. I think that's what does.
I
it.
don't know, but I feel like as my driver, he really should be wearing
Take
a
it easy.
uniform.
Take it easy. The other thing too in America, Gav, is that teenagers tend to get the shittiest fucking cars. We give the worst drivers on the road. We give them the worst cars.
True.
Like Ashley she drove over a mountain pass to go to high school every day, like literally over the top of a mountain, and so it would ice up, and like I guess like once a year, a kid would go off the edge.
Oh yeah, usually they lived. Usually they didn't go far off the mountain.
Crazy, but she
But
had
we did have a
two-
couple cases where they didn't.
She had two 50-pound bags of rock salt because her shocks were so bad. She had them over the back tires to like hold her car down.
Okay, well that was my second car. That one was an upgrade.
Was it?
My first car I got for $200.
I had a $200 car.
It was awesome. It was wonderful.
Give
It
me
was
the
a
fireman.
1982 gold Dodge 400, leather roof, velour bench seats. Had to put my own boombox in it because nothing worked, and I sold that fucker to my cousin when a blinker went out because we would have had to take the steering column off to fix it.
How much did what for a blinker?
Yeah.
How much did you sell it to your cousin for?
I don't know, more than $200.
Yeah,
Profit.
right. You made a profit on your
Lemon.
car.
On your own
Yeah.
cousin.
I did that.
Hey, my cousin knew about the blinker problem.
You wanted to make a profit off your cousin?
Yeah,
Sure.
Done.
absolutely,
It's business, man.
100%.
Everything else goes out
They
the window.
actually, my cousin drove it for years after that too.
Sorry, guys.
Good
that's
value.
my
Until he
mic.
drove off a cliff. It was really icy and not one of the ones that survived. Or
I just
Yeah.
I just moved my
Did not
mouth
survive.
my mic away from my mouth to
I-
burp, and I
I may or-
slammed it into Ashley's mic as hard as I could. So probably
You-
deafened a couple.
Is that what
listeners.
you
No,
argue
that
about
was-
the most then?
Driving?
We Ashley
Driving
and
and
I
texting
almost never argue. Would you agree with that?
she's
What do-
making a face.
what do
Is
we
it like,
argue
is
about?
Is that true or not?
Should we? Yeah, I mean, yes.
What was the last argument that we had?
Big argument?
Yeah.
When we got eliminated from Amazing Race, and that's when we both threw our tantrums.
As soon as we got off camera, we were
Oh
both
yeah, like the second they were like, "All right, get out of here," we were like, "I'm so mad," and then fought for
Why'd you?
6 hours.
But you're in it together.
No,
at-
we
at
were
some
great
point you
the
have
entire
to have
time.
that like pressure release
No, I
of
wish that
just
was on camera.
shouting at someone and being
okay.
unreasonable for a little while, and we didn't let that happen the entire race. So the second it was done, we were like, "I hate you."
No, nobody said that. And in fact, to be fair, I believe my end of the argument was, "Hey, can you stop fucking bitching about this?" I think literally that was my because she was
He
like an
he was
hour
very
straight of
mad.
complaining.
He was
Yeah.
really mad that I was upset that we got eliminated. It
She
was a weird. It was a
wanna
weird,
win.
It was a weird fucking fight.
Well,
But
the
the
stuff
thing
you
is,
were
there's
saying
no
was
good-
you were in a weird space.
This
Like
is
you were
no
saying
good
you
Yeah,
wish-
I was. I had just been
feel like another
eliminated in
fight's
the
coming
middle
on
of
right
fucking
now.
China in the rain after running around like an asshole for an hour.
That was my fault. That was my fault. The running around for an hour was my fault.
At least you're
We
in China.
both ran. We
That's
ran
cool.
together. We
But
ran.
literally, as a couple, if our only
look on the bright
argument in
side.
like the last 4 years is
always
the
a
time
silver
we were
lining.
eliminated from the network reality show,
I think we're doing okay.
I think we're okay. Sometimes I worry that we don't argue enough.
Uh-oh.
Do you and Lindsay argue?
Well, the problem is
That's
we don't get
stupid
makeup
shit.
sex
Stupid
if
shit?
we don't fight.
Today, sitting there, we're at work. I don't know, 3 o'clock. I get an alert on my phone, Verizon. It's like, hey, you use 90% of your data this month. We have 10 gigs a month, and our plan resets in the 25th. So we're exactly halfway, through the month. And I'm like, how the fuck do we have 10%? Let's open the app. Oh, she used 8.9 gigs. I just walk up to her and I just hold her phone. I'm like, what the fuck is this? How? How?
GIFs.
How do you do it? And she's like, we'll talk later. I was like,
we'll talk later.
what does that mean? What did you do at New York Comic Con? Just turn on YouTube, hit play, and then put your phone in your pocket the entire time you were there? I don't get it.
So that's
We
what-
live in a world and we work at a place where there's Wi-Fi everywhere. We go from our house to work, and that's the only time we don't have Wi-Fi.
Netflix,
Most
though.
convention centers, even hotels, they have Wi-Fi.
How much is Netflix over cellular data?
I watch
Yeah,
everything.
you're a
Lindsay
fucking
probably.
psychopath.
I watch
when
everything
she
over
probably
cellular.
does.
Yeah,
I do.
well, yeah, but yours is unlimited.
I have unlimited, so
You keep bragging about your shitty grandfathered unlimited plan.
Yeah, isn't that like more expensive than
It's
not?
more expensive. They throttle you, and also there are unlimited plans on AT&T,
Well, let me think.
and they throttle you much
You got
higher.
Solid.
You got
It's
me.
the accent thing. It's where he's
You
from.
got
He
me.
speaks weird.
Anyway, you're on the wrong plan.
My plan's fine. I don't get that fucking message. I get that message for literally every other person in my family. I get it for her all the time.
Oh
I get
yeah,
it for
I
JD
go over
now.
it constantly.
Do you have
JD's
everyone's
like-
account?
Data hose. Yeah.
Every
JD
time
is-
Lindsay too is like, "Mom, maybe you should
JD
get more data." I'm like, "Maybe you should stop using so much." How about that?
That's
it's
why I
just gonna
like-
get worse if I give you more data. Then you'll blow 12. Then you blow 15. Get a hold of yourself.
I
She
got
just
a
likes the red
notification.
bar. She just likes filling it.
I had used 23 gigs. And
That's
I had,
insane.
I had like 5 days left.
That is fucking insane.
because I'm unlimited. I never get on Wi-Fi. I think Wi-Fi is fucking slower than LTE. I swear it is sometimes.
In
it
some
is,
places
it is sometimes.
it is.
That's totally right. I mean,
I will drop off Wi-Fi to get a better
I'll drop
connection.
it off if I'm like trying to refresh a website or something, and toe is almost like completely under my other toe
There you
next
go.
to it.
See, pinky toes are doomed to fail.
You know what I mean? But it's fine though.
It's fine.
My pinky toe is just next to the other toe. It's
No,
like a
mine
normal toe.
definitely like if it was your hand, it's kind of like behind it, like a little bit, like that.
San Francisco
Yeah.
49ers used to have a safety. His name was Ronnie Lott, and he kept breaking his pinky finger on his hand. He broke it like a number of times, and he went to the doctor, and they're like, "Yeah, you broke it again. We're going to split it for a few weeks." He goes, "Cut it off. Get rid of it. Cut off his finger." Because he just
No.
didn't want to deal with breaking it
lost.
anymore.
Tape
did
it to the other one.
Did he immediately start breaking his ring finger?
Yeah, I know, right?
Like
Then
at
he's
that point.
he's working his way down the line.
Be more careful. Don't cut your fingers off.
He ends up with just like a stump here because he keeps cutting everything off.
Wouldn't that
That's
fuck with your
wild.
ability to grip?
Yeah, I would
that
think
doesn't
so.
seem all that well thought out.
That's okay. They just traded him to the Jets. Hey, am I right, Michael?
Yeah. Oh.
Once he loses his finger.
Sports.
Yeah.
You're not a Jets fan? You didn't grow up around there being a Jets fan or anything?
Giants.
Oh,
I don't
Giants
give a
fan.
crap, but my father.
Well, they
is
were
a
the
Giants fan.
New Jersey Giants, right?
New York Giants. They're New York Giants, but they're based in New Jersey.
Yeah.
They're like their stadiums in
Meadowlands.
New Jersey.
Yeah.
Growing up, was your dad annoyed that you weren't more into sports?
Nah, I didn't care.
Oh. Was one of your other brothers into sports?
Not really. My oldest brother a little bit. Not really. Like I watched football with my dad and I went to a few games with him. I didn't really, it was fun to go. I went to a couple football games. It was fun. I've been to Giant Stadium, but he watched it like religiously every single week. But he was like a Giants fan. He didn't watch anybody else. He didn't give a shit if anybody else was playing. He would just watch that. But he didn't watch baseball. He didn't watch anything except for football. My oldest brother was a big hockey fan because he played hockey when he was a teenager.
I'm amazed at my friends from college who like still go ape shit and go to every fucking Longhorns game and everything. It's like, it's been like 15, 20 years. It's like, what's going to happen in a football game at this point? I love sports
Yeah.
too, but it's like, I feel like I've seen every iteration. It's like, oh shit, the team was losing and then they didn't lose? That's fucking amazing.
I think Lindsay said in her 4 years at UT, she never went to a single game.
Dude, it's still a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like, I did it for like 7 fucking years and then it's like, okay, that's enough.
You took me to my first UT game, and we went to a tailgate, and that was your friends from college. And then we left halfway through the game because all the people in the crowd just spent all their time hating UT. It was really weird. Weird fans. They just went to like hate their own team.
Football.
Ashley,
Football.
can I tell you about we're going to go out in the middle of the night to go watch this rugby game?
Oh yeah.
I thought we were going to go watch this rugby game. There's a big championship. She's from Australia. She lived here for a while. We're going to go out, and I found this bar. We're going to go out in the middle of the night and go to this fucking rugby game, this big championship, national championship. And I think we're on our way to the bar, and I'm like, yeah, this will be really cool. I never watch a rugby game. She goes, yeah, it's really cool. I used to date the captain of one of the national teams who's going to be playing. And I'm like, we're going home. We went back to the house. I'm not going to fucking watch this
You
guy
turned
play.
around?
I forget what it was. It was like the plans fell through.
We ended up somewhere else.
The
It's
plans
fine.
fell through. Let's put it that way. I was
Because
like-
you decided
When I
they should
said
fall
no.
through immediately.
I think it might be over dramatizing the fact that we were on our way there at the time. I think I found that out like 3 or 4 days beforehand. I was like, all right, let's just delete that from the calendar. Let's not do that.
You're scrambling for other stuff to do that night.
So I want to talk about the streamies in a second, but before we talk about that, I want to talk about this restaurant that we went to. Gavin is an old man now. We went to a restaurant, and Gavin was like, we had to leave because the restaurant was too loud.
We
Well,
did.
it's
What?
not that I'm an old man. I never like loud restaurants. I don't like live music.
I don't like yelling at people that I'm with.
I don't want to scream it. Yeah,
We really shouldn't be in Austin.
we really shouldn't.
We really should not be here.
I've always hated it. The thing is now I just don't have the patience for it anymore. Like before, would have happily sat through an entire meal where I can't hear anything or say anything. But now, even though we already ordered drinks, it was like, I mean, we're gonna pay for the drinks and let's leave.
Michael had the pina colada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like part of
Is it
that
good?
though is like
Love
we're
pina
adults now
coladas.
and we like the people that we're having dinner with.
Yeah.
And we'd like to be able to hear them and not just hear ourselves.
Yeah, I don't want to have to spit on someone.
Basically,
to talk to them.
fuck youth.
I'm
What's
always
that
convinced
like?
I'm spitting on people when I'm yelling at them. I'm convinced I'm like a little.
Oh, it
fleck,
happens.
Little fleck's gonna go.
Yeah.
you
Michael
know?
knows.
It
I'm laying in
happens.
somebody's mouth too. That's the worst.
I try not to
Yeah,
go
that's-
in their mouth.
That's just like
but-
long distance kissing, really. If you
It's
think
like,
about it.
that's like a 3-pointer kiss. Is what that is. You know what the solution though for a loud restaurant is? In
Leave.
my mind, no. You should just cook for yourself at home. Not all ingredients are created equal. Fresh, high-quality ingredients taste better and are better for you. So it's important to know where your food comes from. Blue Apron knows that when you cook with incredible ingredients, you make incredible meals. So they set the highest quality standards for their community of artisanal suppliers, family-run farms, fisheries, and ranchers. Whether it's Japanese ramen noodles, wild-caught Alaskan salmon, or heirloom. You say heirloom or heirloom?
I say heirloom.
I say heirloom. Gavin?
Heirloom.
I say heirloom. You say heirloom?
It's got an H.
Never said heirloom in my life.
Blue Apron is bringing you the
I
best.
just
not
heard
great.
of guys waxing there because
Christ,
then
That's
What?
fucking
oh my
insanity.
god!
That's
no, you
way
haven't
worse.
heard about how guys wax. It's like an egg too, where they get this hardened wax, so it hardens up and then they just crack it like an egg.
Bullshit.
And pour
What
everything
are you
out.
on about?
No. You
That's
ask,
locker room talk.
you ask the internet. I know that's a variety of. It's like you can get
So
like
what, you're-
those back crack and sack wax
you what, you're, like,
combinations.
leaning
Back crack
back?
and sack wax?
Yeah, that's what we call
Damn.
it. But so what?
That's
You have
what
to
I
like
get.
have your knees at your head and you're cracking an egg into your gooch. How's that
I
work?
mean, this is for guys.
I know.
That's
No,
guys
it's,
have
put it on.
like you. I
Wax
think it goes on
balls
and it
crack
hardens.
like an egg.
It hardens and then you crack it off and it pulls all the hair with it.
That sounds incredibly painful.
It's waxing. Of course, it's incredibly painful.
Fuck that! Don't do it.
Here's the thing. You know what's worse than genital? Well, I can't speak to balls because I've never had my balls done. But what's even worse is actually the skin right here. That's
Yeah.
the worst part to wax because
Interesting.
there's no fat to insulate
Where's this?
right here.
What, you just like waxing bone?
Really?
basically?
This for me, this hurts worse than getting my cooch done.
Well, it sounds like where we get tattoos. Wherever it's like skin and then bone is a nightmare.
Or like
basically.
joints. Like this is fucking awful.
Yeah.
Like right in here, it's all just like
I couldn't even
there's
imagine.
no.
that.
This like the back of the arm, great.
Yeah?
It's just like drawn on paper. You know, it's
Michael,
like,
that's a really sweet tattoo on your right arm. What is that?
fuck you.
Wow.
Somebody made a good point that the original marketing for the iPod that they became really well known for was the white headphones with the silhouettes dancing around. Now there's just like that white cord wouldn't exist.
Oh,
Because- yeah.
this
Yeah.
nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those commercials. I remember being like, "That's the future." T9. I just saw a Oh fuck! Did I spell this right? What spell? I remember being like, spell
Comerica.
check.
I think there was a
What?
thing when they announced the iPhone 4.
See what they have to say for themselves.
Well,
Yep.
the great thing is that now it will search through all your crap. So a number that's unknown, it will say, "Hey, maybe it's this person."
Right, and
usually
then
it's right.
I'll consider answering. But if
But-
it's just not at all.
The only
If I ever get a call and I don't answer it and I don't know the number, and there is a voicemail, I just call them back.
You don't listen to the
listen
voicemail?
to the voicemail?
Now
No,
you
it's
don't.
a waste of time.
Well, now you don't
that's
need
the
to.
whole point of dictation. You
This
can just
thing,
look
it,
at
it has a text version of your voicemail now.
It tells you what the voicemail says.
Have you seen that?
It's just
My-
in text.
Mine doesn't do that.
How does it
I
not
will
do
leave
that?
you a voicemail. I'm going to leave you a voicemail right now.
It's fucking awesome.
It's a pretty cool feature.
It's
I
like
usually-
you can look at it and be like, "Oh, this is bullshit."
Call
I
Gavin
care.
free.
What I mean is I don't go to the voicemail. I just redial the missed call.
Oh, I guess. I mean,
You're going to have to mute it, though.
you
Is it gonna
literally
buzz
just hit
if I
it
do
and
this,
it
guys?
tells you what it says.
Tell me if it buzzes. If there's a buzzing, I want to know about the buzzing. Is it buzzing? I feel like it's buzzing. You guys go ahead and talk. This is going to take like a minute for
No,
me
it's
to get
okay.
through all this.
I mean, I don't want to
What do you
trample
think,
your
what do you think Gavin's voicemail greeting
voicemail.
says?
Probably
Does it say your phone number
probably
on it?
default.
Can
Did
I
you
play it?
set up a
Speaker?
voicemail?
Is it ringing for you at all?
No, I mean I don't get phone calls in here.
Is it okay if I
Yeah,
play your
me neither,
voicemail
really.
greeting?
Yeah.
Call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
It was going to read your number.
It doesn't remember.
It's reading your number right now.
Did you set up a voicemail?
No.
Then it reads your number. It says you have called
I've
this
never-
number.
I've never
and it
done
pays-
my own.
Gavin,
If you don't put in
this
the, like,
is Burnie,
Gavin,
and I am leaving you a voicemail so that you can see the dictation or transcription service that comes with the new iOS.
I've never called myself.
And it should transcribe what I'm saying to you, so you don't have to listen to it. You can just read it, you fucking prick.
The problem is it
fast
summarizes it, so
on
it
muting
won't
that.
get the whole thing.
Well, I knew it was coming. It's like, yeah, you didn't know that, like...
I thought you
You mean the
asked me
second it
if
came
I
up as a
read out.
default message?
If I let your phone number out, I would never live that down. I would never,
It would have been my
ever-
fault.
Yeah.
It would have been my fault.
Kind of would have been his fault.
Oh.
Like the desk.
It might take a while to transcribe it. And it's not perfect.
Okay, so it says
Well,
I've
now
got a
you're just making
voicemail.
excuses.
Well, it might take... I don't
Go
know.
to your voicey voos.
Voicemail. All right, now what do I do?
Just go to the voicemail itself.
He's right, done to do it.
Well, it might not do it immediately. Give it a bit of time. You might have, because you played it, it might have overdone it. I don't know what
You
overdone
ruin everything.
I don't have it on any of them. Is that a feature? I didn't
Whoa,
know.
whoa, whoa.
Yeah. I think let me see. I think I got one in here.
I like these
And it was crap.
technology podcasts because
Never works.
Yeah,
it'll
I
be
don't have it either.
Nothing works, and also it dates it so well. Like, I'm gonna really enjoy listening to this in like 5 years. It'll be hilarious.
I'm convinced
So,
Gonna be real, you're
so
not
I have
gonna listen to this in
this is
5
the last
years.
voicemail
I
I
will.
have. This is a 1-800 number, right? Which is just crap. It's a 16-second thing. Open it. It says, please have a pen and paper handy to write down the activation code. You'll need to fucking delete.
Yeah.
That's it. It's a robot. Fuck off.
Yeah, it's like subject.
look, it
it's like
transcribes
basically
the whole
like subject
thing.
lines.
Oh man,
See?
Yours will do
That's
it.
Cool.
Yours will do
I
it.
would use voicemail if I had that.
It's in
It's
beta.
great. I was